Sunny Brands Hatch for the Mini Challenge, and what a brilliant weekend it's been so far. It's Sunday morning at the moment. We've got 2 races this afternoon. Yesterday we had qualifying and the first race. I'll talk you through those in a moment. I'm being run by Accelerate Motorsport. They're the biggest, most professional team in the championship. They're running 10 cars this weekend, including my car, which is the guest car owned by Mini UK. It means that I'm in the same team as some of the really quick, really experienced drivers. So I've been watching them, picking up a few tips. And what I've learned is that this is how you wear your race suit in the paddock. Let's have a look at the car. Here it is, the new F56 Mini Challenge race car. This is its second time out. The first round was at Donington 2 weeks ago, so the teams are still working out how to get the most out of it. It's got the same 2-litre turbo engine as the Cooper S road car, tuned up to about 270 horsepower in this specification. Driving the front wheels through a Quaife sequential gearbox. It's fantastic, I love that gearbox. We're carrying the Evo branding this weekend, which means the reputation of the whole magazine is at stake. Let's hope I don't do anything silly, but it's a proper piece of kit. We'll be on Pirelli slick tyres for the race. It's nice and dry, nice and sunny, so we shouldn't have too much trouble getting heat into them. And there's proper aero on this car as well. Big old rear wing, a massive diffuser down at the bottom. So inside it's full race spec. It's completely stripped. There's nothing from the road car in there at all. This carbon dash is bespoke. Everything else has been taken out. Big chunky roll cage in. The seat has been moved back and to the left for safety. Wheel comes right at you. Sequential lever, so it's flat upshift, clutch down, and it just feels superb when you're really going for it out there. Got a nice safe setup this weekend. For a front wheel drive car to be quick on circuit, you need it to be quite pointy, quite oversteery. I don't really fancy that this weekend, so we've got a nice safe setup, and it means that the car's really accessible, really approachable, and it feels really safe and secure when you're flinging it into the corners. The grip when the tyres are hot is outrageous. Frankly, I'm not getting anywhere near the limit of the grip like the rest of these boys are.
As is the way in one-make racing, all Mini Challenge cars are the same. The new F56 generation model is an altogether more serious racing car than the JCW it replaces. Where possible, the organisers have used British suppliers. The brakes are Alcon, the dampers are Nitron, and the brake pads are Mintex. This was just my second ever race weekend, so I set myself modest targets. Get the car home in one piece and get to within 2 seconds of the fastest lap time. The pace at the front of the Mini Challenge is massively quick. There are guys with decades of experience, young drivers who are pursuing professional careers. There's even one guy who's raced in the World Touring Car Championship. Don't mind me, I'm just getting my excuses in. The Mini Challenge was supporting the Blancpain Sprint Series, which really drew the crowds to Brands Hatch. We had 4 practice sessions on the Friday, but only on the shorter Indy loop. My first sight of the GP circuit would be in the 15-minute qualifying session on Saturday morning. That meant I was really up against it in quali, and I didn't help myself by running into the back of another car at Surtees. A minute or two later, the safety car came out before I got a decent lap in. It stayed out until the end of the session, and that meant I'd start the first race from way down on the grid. Regardless of qualifying times though, the F56 cars always start ahead of the JCW pack. I'd start the race 14th of 25 cars. I don't think I've ever felt more nervous. Sat on the grid, I could see the driver in front of me waving his arms manically. I had to swerve his stranded car at the start, and I was far too cautious into Paddock Hill, which meant I got mugged by the JCWs. I spent the race trying to get back past them, but I had to pit with a gearbox issue with 2 laps to run. I got back out to take the checkered flag, finishing in 19th position. Race 2 was the most dramatic of the weekend, so we'll show you that one in detail. I got too much wheel spin at the start, and when all hell broke loose at the bottom of Paddock, I backed off too much. I got swamped by the JCW cars again. The new car is a couple of seconds a lap quicker around here than the old car, so I knew I could get back past a few of them. Later on lap 1, it all kicked off at Westfield, and the safety car came out for that incident back at Druids, which allowed me to close up to the pack. After a lap under yellow flags, we were racing again. I got alongside one of the JCWs on the run out of Graham Hill, but I got spooked by a spinner at Surtees, and he got back in front. I eventually got by on the main straight, and then passed another the following lap. The car feels superb around here, the gearbox is a joy, the Pirelli slicks find enormous grip, and the brakes just don't fade. No wonder everybody describes it as a mini touring car. And Brands Hatch GP, what an incredible track. The back end of the circuit is fast, flowing, and the gradient changes are huge. It's like a tiny slice of the Nürburgring. I got by another JCW under braking for paddock, and that left two of the older cars ahead of me. By the start of the final lap, I was within sight of the second place JCW. With a clean lap, I reckon I could have him. If I could stay on his tail through the final corner, I might be able to outdrag him to the line, but I got out of shape and fell back. I crossed the line in 15th position. The final race of the weekend was by far my best. I got a good start, kept the JCWs behind me and stayed with the back of the F56 pack. I got by one at Druids after it locked up and managed to hold on to the position. I finished 10th overall and my fastest lap was 1.7 seconds off the quickest of the race. Yeah, I know, 10th is nowhere and 1.7 seconds is an eternity, but on the cool-down lap, I felt like I'd won. And there we have it, one more racing addict to add to the pile. To watch the chaotic mini race that we staged at the Bedford Autodrome, click on the link on the left. To see Richard Meaden drive an LMP2 car, click on the link on the right, and remember to subscribe to the channel.